Hey guys, today you're going to take your lab that you did yesterday with the power, and you're going to take all the data you collected and you're going to make me a formal report. This formal report needs to be typed, it can't be handwritten. You're going to do it on your iPad. It's kind of an expectation, more of a formal lab report to me than just data or a worksheet. I want to see that you collected data the proper way, that you understood what was going on, and that you applied your knowledge to what we were doing. So, here's how you would set up your formal report that you're going to turn into me. First off, it's going to be divided into 3 sections. You're going to have a purpose and background, you're going to have data collected, and you're going to have your conclusion or your analysis. So, in each section, here's what you need to include. And this will be included in paragraph form, guys, not in statements or sentences. Paragraph form, with the exception of the data. So, what you need is this. Your purpose and background. It should state what the experiment was about. And you guys know this was about power, so you should explain what we did and why we did it. You should go through what you did. In other words, give me your procedure. It doesn't have to be step by step. Just kind of explain what you did. If you want to include step by step procedure in that, I guess you could. But I want to know exactly what you did. Discuss the background information you had to know and how it applies to the lab. For example, what formulas did you have to know? What did we learn about in class? How is it applying to what we're doing in the actual lab with your procedure? Make sure you include all your variables, your constants, your independent variable and your dependent variable. Make sure you include every factor in the experiment. At the end of it, include a hypothesis. Remember, it's an if-then statement, and tell me what you think is going to happen related to the actual purpose of the experiment. Again, this introduction should be 2 to 3 paragraphs. Remember, paragraphs at least 5 sentences. I'm expecting proper writing here. I'm expecting an opening and a closing, not just a list of sentences. So use what you've learned in your English class and apply it here. Then what you want to do, not there, is do your data and calculations. So in this, it's whether all your data you need to present all your data to me in some kind of organized table or chart. You need to figure out how you're going to do that. You know how to make a chart. You know what to include. Make sure when you make your chart you include titles for each column and row, and make sure you include units for each measurement. Okay? Any calculations you make. So for example, for this one we calculated work and we calculated power. Show me the formula, just like you would do Donkey Kong. Show me the formula, show me the work you did, show me your calculation with the correct units in sig figs. If possible, or if applicable, try to include a graph. A graph always helps take words and put them into some kind of visual application. So that's your data and calculations. This won't be a paragraph, so to speak. It'll just be a section. You need to figure out how you're going to include that. This is where I can look at all your data and determine whether you collected the right stuff. And then finally, the third part is your conclusion. This is the meat of it. This is where I really see if you learned something. So, what I need you to do, explain to me what your data shows. Don't just repeat your data. If I want to see your data, I'll go to your data section. I want to know what it shows, what it tells you, what it tells me as I'm reading it, how it relates to what we were doing. Discuss whether your hypothesis was right or wrong. Don't just say my hypothesis was correct. Explain why it was correct. Give me explanation. Explain what factors may have caused errors in the experiment and why. Don't just say, oh, so-and-so could have changed the way they kept time. No, explain what errors could have happened. Discuss how you would enhance the experiment. In other words, if you were to do it again, what would you change about it to make it better? What could you do to it to add to it, to give it more data, more information, to make it more understandable? This section should show me what you have learned. Again, this is the one that's most important to me. I'm going to really read this. I'm going to really give feedback on this. I want to see that you include it. It should be in paragraph form, not a bulleted list, not just statements. Paragraph form, again, opening, closing. The number of paragraphs in this section is up to you. I don't want a paragraph of 20 sentences. Break it up into parts. Think about what you're writing. All of you have taken English class, so you know what to do. So with that, guys, that's what you need to do with this. Make sure you get it all done, get it turned in, submit it to the folder, and we'll probably do a lot of labs like this from now on. See you guys later.